Hello, dear hearts. I'm here.
Hello.
This is Ram. I'm going to introduce you to my new friend Ram. And there's an Instagram thing in front of my eyes. So give me a minute. Oh, Instagram. I'm just discovering it. So I was going to say a little bit about Ram, and he and I were just discussing just like the devotion of King David and the humility that he exhibited, and then Ram talked about Hafiz a little bit and a similar story of his path. And we were talking about maybe doing retreats here, and that we're really feeling like doing retreats in this space, which is it's called Sunshine, and you can see that their theme is surrender to love, and that's what Ram exemplifies is surrender to love. And he teaches yoga here, and he was just starting to tell me a little bit about his take on yoga, which is the same as mine, and it's I think you might find that helpful. And then also share a little bit about what he's doing at the school and things like that. So here's Ram.
Yeah, so I was saying to Annie that my beloved teacher, his name is Dharmesh, he was holding satsang in Mexico City, and I felt like this longing to be in his presence. So, and he was teaching yoga too, so I was not into yoga, but yes, into his presence. And I loved the way he was sharing the yoga, because it was such a profound way of the approach of really in each posture connect with the motion that can be there, and be present in the resistance of it, and find that you are there. Even if the uncomfortable sensations are there, if the pain is there, there's something that is witnessing that experience. And I feel for the ones that make like the yoga, the stretching, that's a very good invitation.
Yes. So we encountered some beings this evening. Ram was down on the beach having a great time with some people who showed up there spontaneously and singing and just in silence together. And then I was here. There's a couple from Switzerland that I met, and I thought he was Mexican, so I started speaking to him in Spanish, and he didn't understand what I was saying. I was like, I know my Spanish sucks, but why can't you understand me? I kept repeating myself, and he goes, do you speak English? I said, yeah, a little bit. So I met this couple from Switzerland, and they said they really want to do yoga. And so I said, well, you came to the right place, because Ram will teach you yoga, and then they want to learn to meditate. So I said, okay, well, we can handle that too. So I think we're going to gather in the morning. And then another couple came in from France, and they also want to learn how to meditate and do yoga. So it's
that's how magic this life is.
Yes.
He has to travel all the world to arrive to Cabo.
Yeah.
And somehow Annie end up in Cabo in this place, and they met in the kitchen.
It's so funny because the guy from Switzerland has like a carrot and an eggplant, and so he makes like this simple sort of soup, which was nice. And then the couple from France arrive, and they've got all this stuff, and they'd been to the store, and they had like sautéed mushrooms and sautéed onion. They spent like an hour cooking their meal. And they said, "Oh, you French!" So they had the gourmet meal, and then the Swiss, and I ate boiled vegetables. So anyway. But yeah, just this kind of stuff. Like I had no idea that this would be just to have been able to meet Ram. And so when I first met him at the school, which he'll talk about a little more right now, when I first met him at the school, I was just like an instant, just hearts connected, like an ancient connection. Like, and it's like we'd known each other forever, and we actually have. And so we really hit it off. He's been taking such good care of me and all my little girly needs, and making sure I have towels and water and fresh drinking water. And he even has a Coffee, of course, I had to know, like, do you make, because other trips to Mexico, I've found that people didn't necessarily have coffee pots. So the first thing I asked him on the way to the grocery store, do you have coffee? So it so happens that he does, so I was able to get my morning cup, and so I'm all so well taken care of. But
Yes.
I came down here to visit the school, and so it's a magical place provided by a friend of ours who I'm going to let her remain anonymous because I'm not so sure she wants to be shared publicly, but we both love her with such a depth of love, and so
Yes.
came to see her, and then she introduced me to Ram, and we stayed here for a few days at his. So he manages this really large facility that is has several living quarters and a yoga studio and a sitting parlor and all kinds of stuff, and close to the heart of San Jose Del Cabo and the beach. And this school is like, I think I haven't shared this yet, but it's a forerunner, it's a pioneer of the ushering in of the raising of consciousness, because it's starting with these little ones, and they're being exposed to things that they're not in probably very many public school systems. And so Ram has been just being himself and just being obedient to this love that we serve. Doors are opening for him to perhaps introduce this curriculum into a broader audience in Mexico, and really feeling like this is going to spread throughout the world. So Ram is deeply devoted and teaching me about making the language accessible to people who come from different traditions. They're not necessarily have been on the spiritual paths that many of us have, which is a good thing, probably. They don't have the baggage of all the spiritual jargon, but just being able to sort of translate down to words that they can hear. A lot of the Catholic root down here is very strong, and so if you just come in starting talking satsang and meditation, and there's only one thing and everybody's God, then you kind of have to, in order to have an entrance into this, there's wisdom around the languaging of it, and so that's something that Ram has learned from others and is teaching it to me. And because once you get through the filters of the mind and they connect with their self, with the one heart, it doesn't matter what you say, they can feel it from you. And then there's a trust, that then they can trust what comes through. And that's what naturally happens with Ram, is they can't help but resist the love that radiates from this guy. So yeah. So we'll probably share more from the school tomorrow and go into more depths on that. But right now we're just kind of basking in this presence, and so I'll probably stop talking now. Thank you for listening, and sending you warm hugs from Ram and Annie.
Yes.
Ram and Annie.
We love you.
Love you. Mwah. Adios por ahora.